four people that really kind of contributed effortlessly is John Schultz, myself, Alan LeConte, who's somewhere around here in the back.
Oh, that's
And, oh, there you go, or in the front.
I can go in the back.
And Manny Simbale, who works for National.
So yeah, this is some Mapbox tiles that some tiles that Mapbox created that look like the Pokemon Go, but uses OpenStreetMap data. Pokemon Go uses Google data. And this is actually mining grid, so like our thought is like we have to catch all the buildings. All the buildings must get on the map, which there are quite a few. So we're going to start with the quiz first. Can anyone tell me what area we're looking at? New York, yeah, great. Okay, in New York, this is all buildings. There's nothing else on this map, it's just buildings. And New York had 1 million buildings and 900 addresses and was done in 2013 and 2014. Okay, we're gonna get harder. What's this one?
Chicago.
Chicago, great, yeah. And Ian Dees, who was in before not being here in Germany, that's very sad. He mostly did a lot of this, and that was done in 2013. What about this one? Seattle, where we are right now. Yeah, and Clifford Snow and some other great people helped do that import and build community around that. That was in 2013 as well. Okay, getting harder. Portland, yeah, good job.
Put her on it.
Yeah, these are all the Portland buildings, and that was done in 2014, and they had buildings addresses and then building types for like residential type buildings. Okay, this is the really hard one. These are just buildings. Anyone? Okay, well I gotta tell you, like it really upsets me that they're on the map before Los Angeles. This is Bakersfield. And I'm really upset about this. 4 to 6 years ago. So this is what Los Angeles looked like at the beginning of this year. These are the buildings. There's like a few clumps around downtown. East Hollywood is like a big block that I did, and I feel really bad if anybody came behind me and changed some of the buildings because I didn't use correct OSM tags. I apologize. I am in the church now. I'm aware of the rules, and I thank you for being really nice about it because I've only been an OpenStreetMap contributor for a year now.
Yeah, and I myself was a hit and run mapper, as they call it, and I actually did this area right here at Boyle Heights, just east of downtown LA. So how did this get started? It's going to be broken down to a couple parts. Like it all started with an edit on OpenStreetMap wiki. We're going to talk about how we planned it, how we did it in phases, how we did mapathons and sort of tutorials to let the importing begin, and kind of next steps with these individuals that kind of pushed it forward with bringing in the community in the Los Angeles area. And that started in 2014 with Ken Schwenke, who used to work for the LA Times. He posts this up because LA County has a GIS department that published all the county outlines to the whole county. That's 3 million buildings with heights and elevation attributes into it. But he just posted that out there on the wiki, and it sort of just kind of lingered around. And then some guy who like was a hit and run mapper myself discovered QGIS and the data portal. I was like, oh my God, there's all this data, and OpenStreetMap. And at that point, I thought, you know what, all this building outlines, LA doesn't really have like buildings on there at all. I'm like, you know, I'm going to take it further and kind of like get people to start contributing. So I kind of contributed in August 2014. And then what actually kind of started out, I guess Alan had some sort of black magic mechanisms that sort of like monitor OpenStreetMap. I kind of uploaded a bunch of buildings, and then he just popped out of nowhere and contacted me, saying he's interested in helping with the building import. This was in September 2014. And then he actually introduced me to Maptime LA, and that sort of like is a segue for these four individuals who kind of start this really awesome group that is supporting individuals. So this is how we planned it. It kind of broke it down to, we used OpenStreetMap Wiki to sort of set goals, schedule, importing the data, data prep, data merge, QA. We used that area to sort of talk about how we're going to get this kind of thing going. GitHub was another platform we used in terms of determining what attributes, like the elevation height data, you have to match them with OpenStreetMap tags. We also initiated and talked about Python scripting and the import guidelines as to how individuals are going to be importing this into the whole item. And the cool thing though is like we were trying to merge 3 data sets together, the building outlines, which is 3 million buildings, address points, which the county also had, and then building information, which is information that was acquired by the LA County assessor. The assessor has information in terms of like what type of building it is, residential, single family, how many units it has too, and what the cool thing was like when it was built, when year these buildings were built. And so we tried to get all these data sets together to generate these OSM files, little bits and pieces. And then we had to sort of like, in the import guidelines, we had to sort of discuss this with the OSM community on the list to find out what we're doing is okay, and then we can get the go-ahead to upload into OpenStreetMap. And with the GitHub effort, we sort of forked it from the New York effort. you gotta realize there's a lot of imports being done already, and it's really cool, especially when some of them are on GitHub. I think most of them, where you can sort of like take on and sort of not, you don't have to start from scratch. You can sort of build off the efforts, and you can actually build off on our own what we're doing so far in terms of like doing similar efforts in your neighborhoods and cities. And then at that point, we started to decide what attributes to add, because we had like maybe about 50 columns of attributes.
Yeah. Should we add swimming pool?
Yeah. And then try to match it to the OSM equivalent. And then we did some scripting and testing. And this is sort of the information that's available on OpenStreetMap now.
Yeah, this is the famous Hollywood and Vine intersection. There's a really good Starbucks right there and a Trader Joe's. But this is a particular building, an apartment building, and so it came through with different information. So all these red arrows are pointing to the things that came through the import. There was already some information there for the addresses and the name, but it came through with like building equals apartment, building units equals 140, elevation 155, height 38 wall meters. And then the AIN, which is the assessor information number for the county assessor, which allows us to track the property, and the building ID number, which is specific to the GIS department, and it was built in 1925.
And then after we sort of planned it out, and it kind of like...
We had bars. You and I have both like full-time jobs.
And then Alan was...
Alan does too.
We just kind of like figured out, oh, we were doing full-time jobs. So we kind of snoozed it a little bit. And then somehow, like maybe about 5 months later, this individual who was right next to me started complaining about Silver Lake not having enough buildings in the area.
What the hell, man? This sucks.
So he sort of joined in around July 2015, and this awesome individual, Manny Sabales, started like really going into the nitty-gritty of the data set in terms of the outlines. This is in the city of Pasadena. Like the Pasadena had somehow like was tracing the awnings and the balconies and stuff of the buildings. With these two getting together, though, what's really awesome is that they sort of helped push it further. After it was sort of like slowing down, they kind of picked it up in terms of scripting and programming. And we actually ended up building, using these 3 data sets, LA City, LA County, because there's a 2014 updated data set in terms of the buildings. We're using the 2000 net data set and the 2015 local rule of the assessor. And we're going to do it the process of generating OSM files. And these OSM files would be served through a server that would be handled by a tasking manager who would be established as a custom tasking manager. That goes to Joslyn, where we review the data, where the bearer would check it out and upload the stuff. And a quick note, if you didn't see that, we didn't add the addresses. Alan made this really terrific graphic in terms of identifying, like, there's these multiple buildings, and we want to add to that.
Yeah, it's just a mess. It was like, if we talk about addresses and we debate whether we're going to import or join the address nodes to the building shapes, we were going to delay this project for like another year or 2, and it would just be this monstrous thing. But like, for instance, my neighborhood, my building, I live in an apartment complex. It's 5 buildings, each with 4 units, and each of them have a unique address. Well, all of those in the GIS from the county, they come in as nodes that are stacked right on top of each other. So you have 20 nodes just stacked right on top of each other, and it's like, well, which one do we assign to which part of the building, to which building? And it just became this nightmare where we were just like, we don't know, let's just start with buildings and then move on. I'm the like, let's get it done kind of guy.
Yeah, and we actually, so John actually ended up cleaning and merging the data sets file together. He handed it off to Manning and the Mapbox team. They actually helped in terms of tag matching for the scripting and breaking them into groups. We broke up the whole data set into census blocks.
Yeah, census block groups.
Census block groups. So that would be handled by the OSM task managers. Everybody who would use the task manager would get little bits and pieces of buildings, so you can review and upload onto Joslyn and OpenStreetMap.
Yeah, and so, you know, it's really important to say that this effort wouldn't have started like when it did in April without the help of Mapbox. Mapbox was a huge help in getting this rolling, and Manning approached us. Mapbox was separately thinking about how can we get buildings, and they really want to push and improve the map, and so they're looking at different communities, and so they were like, let's focus on LA, and then they decided to reach out to us and then use us for local support. So the really nice thing is that they wanted us to be like kind of the locals to be kind of running the show, so that Mapbox can come in, do the validation, do help kind of push the import forward, because after you import, I don't know, 100,000 buildings, you get kind of tired of it. Like I kind of got really tired. And so it was really great of them to jump in and do that, so big props to them.
And since we're talking about 3 million buildings, we broke it into 4 phases. To actually start seeing if this actually does work and the scripting works in a real world setting, we started doing one small part of LA, the city of LA. And after once phase 1 was done, we sort of we updated the documentation, checked for any outcomes, and sort of like how can we, and like if people misinterpreted the import guidelines, we went back and updated the documentation. Once that was kind of updated, we went to